to the Go Home Show for Locked In. 6 epic, exhilarating, and fast-paced matches in front of you with our last 6-pack challenge for qualification to the men's chamber to main event this show. I can't wait for all the action that's going to be coming out to you. So, let's just quickly get into the first bout of the evening right now. Well, it's time to open off Breakdown with the mixed tag champions making our way to the ring. Molly Holly, belt around her waist.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, representing the Alpha Academy from Forest Lake, Minnesota, one half of the undisputed mixed tag champions, Molly Holly.
Set to lead the Academy out. Molly Holly ready for this one. Out on her own as the rest of her team is set to follow.
And his partners, representing the Alpha Academy from Kobe, Japan, weighing in at 156 pounds, Akira Tozawa.
I think the entire Academy is coming out for this one. In mixed tag action, the champs, obviously one side of things. Tozawa, he just gave us the belt sign. Could he potentially be wanting Freebird rules to defend the title alongside another member of the Alpha Academy? One thing's for sure, this team is very well rounded in their style. The athleticism, the high-octane offense of the Cruiserweight division from Tozawa. The women's division well and truly on lock. And here, the rest of the Academy featuring Otis is here for action.
And representing the Alpha Academy from Superior, Wisconsin, weighing in at 330 pounds, one half of the undisputed mixed tag champions, Otis.
It's actually a surprise that the tag champs have come out separately in comparison to the rest of the team, but it is fine as is. Otis here to compete, the ones in the air. It's part of Bloodline, it seems. But yes, the tag champs victorious at Crush 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 several weeks ago now. Here tonight in action for the first time since then. And this is certainly an interesting division to obviously be in, as we've not really focused our attention on it
And representing the Alpha Academy from Phoenix, Arizona, Maxine Dupree.
since obviously the pay-per-view and maybe a one-off match on the run-up at the obviously qualification week last week. Tonight we're getting to see some action in the division, which I'm personally thinking is going to be good to obviously see the champs in action 2 weeks in a row to see how they form still this cohesive unit. Obviously the Alpha Academy as a whole is a team built of, I'd say, rookies, novices that are requiring guidance. Instead of it being Gable in top, it's now Molly Holly, the legend that she is. Certainly makes this team very skilled. But our opponents, you could say, are a pure fusion collective.
And representing the Pure Fusion Collective from Las Vegas, Nevada, Zoe Stark.
If you're unfamiliar with what is about to come out, we put a team of Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville, Sean Spears, Carmelo Hayes together. And they faced off against the Boogeyman Karrion Kross and the unholy union of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire to see who would come out on top. That matchup saw the Pure Fusion Collective win out. And tonight, they're going up to the test of the champs.
And representing the Pure Fusion Collective from Shamal, New Jersey, Sonya Deville.
Obviously, last week in qualification week, there was a qualifying match for the number one, the contendership for that week's championship match we had the week before, obviously that qualification bout. And Stark and Spears were the unit that came out from the Pure Fusion Collective to try to get this matchup against the champs. Tonight, this 4-stack are going up against the champs and the rest of the Alpha Academy to kind of prove they deserve a shot against them for the belts. But as we welcome Spears out to the arena, the chairman, he's trying to find some form here. Past that loss, he's been on and up and a down sort of spree here in IPW. But he is ready to compete here tonight.
And from Niagara Falls, Canada, weighing in at 223 pounds, Sean Spears.
The PFC and Spears and Hayes are a well-oiled unit if they get going. Spears brings that unpredictable element of aggression, that renewed, reinvigorated career since he re-signed with the WWE is certainly being felt in his mantra, in how he approaches every single match. Tonight, the chairman, he's looking to clean up houses and get potentially a shot at the championship.
And from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, Carmelo Hayes.
And finally, to round out this collective, he is him. It is Carmelo Hayes. And Hayes, well, Melo don't miss. And he's ready to compete. Let's be honest, he has grown more and more cocky as his career has evolved. Former NXT champion here tonight, vying for the top spot in a division in IPW. Obviously the television division, we have the championship on the line at the pay-per-view. Our final qualifier later on in tonight's show. But as we get underway with the opening bout of the evening, it's going to be Molly Holly and Zoe Stark starting the action off for their respective teams. Stark, a skilled fighter, a technical wrestler with the prowess to really dominate if she is given it. Going up against Molly Holly, who's more high octane, the high flying offense that Molly brings really sets a tempo of a match. If she can obviously get rolling. But right now, the PFC, as Deville and Stark have led this match, have kind of grounded Molly's offense to a point. And that point's now where Molly is kind of in firm control. DeVille does a good job to get back to a vertical base, though. The problem is she can't follow up on that resurrection to her feet, as Molly has stayed on top of her and is not giving her an edge back in. Past, obviously, getting to her feet. But right now, the match in favor of the legend, the Hall of Famer, who is dominating the early goings. DeVille gets back to her feet, takes a leg out, and goes for the pin. It's an easy kick out, though, for Molly, as she's really not taking much damage. DeVille, nice boot, followed up with a knee. Molly's back to her feet. Tag opportunity here as DeVille tags in Carmelo. Mello, though, gets caught with a back elbow. Grabs a hold of Molly into the fireman's carry and just busts her head on her knee. I just misgendered him. Mello don't miss. And that is certainly a nice neck breaker. The knee following it up as well. Mello is just delivering some punishing offense. The inverted DDT. Dropping Molly. And let's be honest, this is the most punishment Molly has taken, and considering the fact she has been legal since the beginning of the match, she could potentially be thinking tag out time. Mello is just unrelenting with the pressure. Finally, Molly's able to get the boot up into the face and take control. A kick to the gut and a combination of offense from Molly sets Carmelo up for a toss around the ring, and I think that is the timing. Molly needs to make a tag and bring in Akira Tozawa. Both men try to run at each other. Mello hits the DDT first. Now some boots to follow. Akira out round the back. Tries to land a super kick but misses. Mello, however, does not, and plants him down into the mat. Sends Akira into the corner, and a tag in brings Stark back into the match. Irish whip and the double shoulder block. Drops Tozawa. Zoe goes running and just takes down. Never mind. Tozawa rolled out the way, it seems. Takes down Zoe with a Hurricane Rana. Nice mat takedown as well from Tozawa. Kicks to the gut. Tries to go for the Inzaguri, but ducks and then collects the head of Zoe Stark with the follow-up shot. The issue is he tags out and Otis gets put into the spotlight almost immediately. A deer in the lights as well. The mixed tag champ starting to get going. The powerhouse of the Alpha Academy is really in this match for the ground and pound, and this deadlift power as he sits out with a power bomb. Stark has certainly taken the most punishment in this match so far. She is going to, however, come back with a DDT, planting Otis center of the ring. But the big man really hasn't taken much. He's trapped in the corner as DeVille now legal. Irish whip combo from the PFC. They go for the shoulder block as a follow-up. DeVille mounting Otis with some punches. Follow-up boot as well. PFC rolling through tags now. As Spear's now legal, but he's a deer in the headlights. Military press slammed. He goes for the roll-up, trying to sneak the victory here. Only a 1 count on Otis. Nice combination of offense there from Spears. But Otis makes the tag into Maxime Dupree. Irish whip reversed. And Dupree trapped on the apron. Spears hooks her up and plants her with a DDT. Spears calculated with his offense as a referee issues a count. And we've seen throughout the years Spears, his mantra of being for the fans, the perfect 10. It has developed. It has grown into a monster, and I believe right now Otis is being beaten up by the PFC, by the way. Super kick missed there from Spears. And Otis, yeah, he's going to leave the PFC corner. I think he was getting absolutely mauled as Dupree punishing Spears on the outside with the barricade. The lovely hexagonal coloured barricade. Nice drop kick there from Dupree. Sends down Spears. Sends him running into the corner. The Alpha Academy making a tag. In comes Tozawa for a punch to the gut. Springboard position, not going to follow it up. Instead, Spears going to catch him with a boot. Tozawa lands one of his own boots, a super kick. Got the straight jacket suplex to follow it up as well. Tozawa is starting to get going here. A very solid performer. He's underrated, to be honest, with his skills, as he can just uncork some massive suplexes from out of nowhere. And considering the size of him, you don't really expect him to be the one executing that type of maneuver. You expect more of the flippy, high-flying stuff, which he is going towards now. Obviously, Spears needs to be wary of that senton from Tozawa that he has mastered throughout his career. But then again, Tozawa has to be wary of that C4 as Carmelo Hayes gets his first taste of actual action in this match. Catches the boot of Tozawa. Picks him up into the powerbomb. That was a lovely transition there from Carmelo. Goes into the pin. Utilizing the ropes as well. A quick kick out there from Tozawa as he realizes the danger he was in, but Mello hooks him up and puts him down with that cutter. Planted in the middle of the ring. Molly Holly in to break it up for her team. Realizes Tozawa is in trouble. Now DeVille legal as the Pure Fusion Collective. A collaboration of offense. Certainly on full display as DeVille hooks in. It looks like a Fujiwara armbar. Tozawa could potentially tap out. It's being wrenched, but he's able to fight out of it. Both back to their feet. Tozawa takes hold of DeVille and plants her with the scoop slam. Misses the punch, and DeVille just a nice spear there to take down Tozawa. Hooks him up. This time she's opting for a triangle. The choke locked in. The arm also trapped. Tozawa in trouble. No one's in to break it up on the Alpha Academy side as they let Tozawa suffer through the hold. He manages to get back to his feet and start to unload the offense. As DeVille in a world of hurt, she's forced to target Otis to take him off the apron to buy some reprieve. She sends Era away from the corner as well. Smart wrestling from DeVille to keep the legal man away from his own corner, as well as take away a potential tag option from the big powerhouse Otis. And current champ, let's be honest, that's the other big factor that they took out of that. DeVille ducks the pump kick, gets caught with it the second time round though. As Tozawa, Irish whip reverse, sent into his own corner. DeVille looking to capitalize with these kicks. As this most part of this match has been PFC controlled since Molly Holly has last been in the ring, I would say, or Otis. Speaking of Molly Holly, she's back legal for the team against DeVille, who's really got rolling against Tozawa. I'd say Tozawa is certainly a weakened, wounded animal. And he's going to potentially get some more punishment as Deville hooks him up. Oh my word! Molly Holly, you just set yourself up for a world of hurt. More than what you just delivered to your own partner as well. A nice maneuver there from Sonya as she sends Molly back into the PFC corner. A tag out from Deville brings in Spears. And these two are going to back body drop Deville, Molly Holly into the pin. Also goes Spears. No one from the PFC, from the Alpha Academy going to break it up. And you can see the frustration on Spears' face after that. He's going to instead look to punish Molly. Hooks her up and a nice Ushi-Garushi. Molly's up in the fireman's carry. Fights out of it. I feared to see if C4 could have been coming through there from Spears. Molly getting out of it is smart. Wise offerance from the legend as she tries to go for the handspring back elbow. Spears opting for the super kick. The first boot was caught, but the second connects. Molly forced to tag out as Otis is now legal for the team. Going high risk, not wise offense from Otis as he's right in front of Spears, but Spears lets him come careening down with the elbow. And Otis hooks up Spears into potentially the trash compactor. Oh yeah, Ducky. Even though he's no longer in the company, I still love saying it. As Otis tries to opt for the headbutt. Spears rolls out the way. Connects with his own big knee, but he's hung up on the top rope by Molly Holly as he runs directly into her. Otis back to his feet. The mixed tag champion looking for victory here. He sends Spears into the Alpha Academy corner and brings in his tag champion compatriot. Double shoulder block from Molly Holly and Otis as they begin to work over Spears. Spears sent into neutral territory. I guess you could say he's in Switzerland right now. Scoop and a slam out from Molly as she heads up to the top rope. Calling Spears up. I have a feeling it's time for the Molly go round. Planted in the middle of the ring. Mello's in to break the pin up as well though. And he's going to get potentially some follow-up offense from Molly, but she's not able to punish him. Our referee got in the way of that. Spears gets caught as he tries to get back to a vertical base. Molly over the top. As she now opts for some leg punishment. As you do take away the vertical base from a wrestler, give them nothing to stand on. And I think Spears is hurting as he crawls to Switzerland once again. Dupree in now for the Alpha Academy. But she's caught almost immediately by Sean. Picks up Dupree, delivering some big punches, trying to potentially knock out Dupree. Nice neck breaker to follow it up. Spears tags out after suffering the Molly go round. Brings in Carmelo. And Mello is looking to punish Dupree here. Dupree in another country that's neutral. I don't know any others. Other than Switzerland, that's the running gag, innit? Anyway, back to the commentary. Maxine, I should say, getting the better of Carmelo Hayes right now. Hayes reverses out the move. It lands a perfect drop kick to put Dupree down as Tozawa now legal for the Alpha Academy. Hayes wanted him. The two cruiserweights battling it out here. on the apron. Tozawa planted by that slingshotting DDT from Hayes. And then the knees. Mello don't miss with that one. And Tozawa, in a world of hurt, manages to roll through that maneuver from Hayes. A referee up to 6. Hayes not able to run back into the ring. A 7 count issued here. I've got a feeling both wrestlers are going to make a dash for the entry to the ring, as that 9 was soon coming. Tozawa makes it in first and connects with the Shining Wizard. Down goes Hayes. And this could be the beginning of the end for the Pure Fusion Collective. Hayes trapped in Alpha Academy territory as Molly's legal. Over the top she goes. Tozawa with the big boot, and now Molly, I think a giant swing inbound, sends Hayes spinning around the ring. Molly tries to go top rope, I feel. Zoe playing it smart, stopping that from happening. Takes out Molly, gives Hayes a chance back into the match, but she does a good job as well as Hayes hooks up Molly Holly, the champ, in trouble as she is caught with the cutter. Planted down, Tozawa's in, breaks it up. A near fall in favor of the PFC. And Mello, he wants some gold in his future. Potentially mixed tag gold, but who would be his partner? He's got 2 viable candidates. I think he's favoring Zoe, bringing her into the ring right now. Zoe now heading up top. Tries to get Froggy, can't connect. As Molly Holly, sensing the danger that Zoe possesses, Zoe hooks Molly up, half and half suplex. Nip up from Molly, tries to get going, but she's caught immediately. Zoe plants her, shoulder breaker, center of the ring. DeVille now legal as the PFC. They're rolling, but Molly, she's sensing a victory. Dragon Sleeper applied. DeVille fighting out of that one. And gets to a vertical base. DeVille hooking up Molly now for a submission. The triangle locked in. Trapped in PFC territory. Molly taps out. And DeVille victorious for the PFC against the tag champ nonetheless. This match had so much action throughout every stage of the match. At stages I felt Otis and Molly controlled the tempo for the Alpha Academy. But it wasn't until the latter stages when Akira came in. Dupree had some time as well. And then the PFC took control. That maneuver there, Molly costing the team, I feel, because she got hit with this maneuver from DeVille, which set up a path of destruction for the PFC. A great and gutsy performance by them. We know, well, we expect maybe DeVille and either Spears or Mello to take the next title shot. I feel it might be her and Hayes. But obviously, with locked in literally this Sunday, there could potentially be a new match on the card decided by IPW management. We shall have to see.
Here are your winners. The team of Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville, Sean Spears, and Carmelo Hayes.
But yes, a dominant and solid victory for the PFC here tonight. as they take down the Alpha Academy in our opening match of the evening. Well, our second bout has got a lot to do in order to top our opener, as we welcome the Phenomenal One here to the Breakdown Arena. And let's just bring out the fireworks. Styles ready for action here tonight.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Let's be honest. He can find that high engine offense. He reaches top speeds when it matters realistically the most. I'd say his biggest accomplishment, making it into the Dual Dream pay-per-view in the one-side finals, obviously losing out to Ospreay and Mariah May at the pay-per-view, but when he goes for the gold, he is very, very dominant. But I'd say this matchup right now is set to bang. And I feel that, well, AJ's going to need to find that high gear, that high tempo to deal with the voice of the voiceless, I should say. Punk, you know what's coming. The ground is felt. The watch is checked. It's clobbering time as CM Punk
From Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218 pounds, CM Punk.
is ready to compete. The straight edge superstar, the Second City Saint, whatever you want to call him. He's here tonight to just take over. We saw him in a similar situation to what we actually saw our previous combatants in Stark and Spears, competing in a qualification match for the Mixed Tag Championship bout alongside his wife AJ Lee. Tonight, he's going out alone, looking to take down or take the head of the Phenomenal One. Our second bout of the evening, it's a big one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing who can hang with the big dogs. Remember, the men's division is certainly very wide open as to who gets the next shot. Obviously locked in, we're going to see a title match. I already am aware of what the match is, but we'll wait till the end of the show to announce the card. But right now, we focus in on this match, some technical wrestling prowess from both men, as Punk takes side headlock control on the mat right now, applying the pressure to the skull, the back of the neck of Styles, who forces Punk to break. They tie up once again. Punk overpowering Styles is certainly a surprising thing. You realistically would expect them to be evenly matched in that regard. And I'd say they're both similar prowess, similar offense overall. Both strikers in the game with signature submissions and then that big powerful finisher. They also bring that springboard offense, that high flying aspect to the game. Honestly, if we don't get these two facing off IRL sometime in the near future, I'm going to be really disappointed, because this would be such a great match that should deliver on every aspect of the card, and it could main event any pay-per-view, live event, whatever you want to call them. And as we turn our attention to the actual match, nice forearm there from Styles. The springboard maneuvers now starting to flow out of his arsenal. Punk forced to roll to the outside as Styles continues to apply the pressure here at ringside. Blue Thunderbomb there from Punk to regain control in this match, and this is the sort of offense Punk's known for in this era, I should say. The grind you down, the dirty offense that he can go for that really is cheap. As Styles hooking Punk up on the outside for the calf killer. Punk fights out of it. Only trying to wear down Punk because you cannot win via submission on the outside. But it's still a smart game from Styles to keep the pressure constantly on. But right now, Punk taking over. And he's going to send Styles back into the ring. Punk is going to follow him to break the count. Punk unloads a combo of kicks and now some knees to the body of Styles. Irish whip sending Styles into the ropes. Drop down into a submission hold. The Anaconda Vice locked in. We've seen the calf killer and now an Anaconda Vice. These men so similar in offense. But right now, AJ taking over. Up and over goes Punk for the Hangman's Net Breaker. Pinfall attempt here from the Phenomenal One. Trying to take a win over the Voice of the Voiceless. Nice clothesline to keep Punk down. Styles setting Punk up here. Pop up into the Styles Clash. And it busts open the Straight Edge Superstar. 2 count, a near fall in favor of the Phenomenal One as he goes once again for that springboard offense. He clips Punk and he's going to capitalize by going for the pin. He's utilizing the ropes here to try and sneak victory, but Punk fighting out of it. Back to the feet he goes, but he's hooked up once again, this time in the crossface. Will Punk tap out here? He manages to break the hold, a kick to the gut as well, and he's got Styles up on his shoulder. Styles fighting out of the GTS, tries to follow up with his offense, but Punk kicking back, now back on the shoulders. Punk, GTS, drops Styles. He's quite close to the ropes. Could Styles grab it for a rope break? Doesn't need to. Powers out at 2, but Punk, he's looking to maintain control. Springboard offense. Inbound, tries to go for the clothesline. Styles ducks it. Hooks up Punk. Backbreaker into DDT. Runs the ropes and connecting with a forearm. The speed is certainly picked up. Nice Shining Wizard. It only grazes Styles, who stays on his feet. Now sends Punk running over the top rope, and a spear sends Punk careening to the mat on the outside. The tempo of this match heats up still. Punk and Styles delivering on every aspect so far. It's hard to keep up with my words as well, as the action spills to the outside. Punk's flurry of offense, them kicks, powerful. Hooks up Styles, potentially fisherman suplex, but Styles fights out of it, takes the back, and drops the elbow. Punk down now on the outside, pulled back to his feet. Styles tries to go for something, gets caught. Punk the same, and Styles sends him back into the ring. I thought maybe a forearm was coming, the Phenomenal forearm I should say, if Styles stayed on the apron, but instead opting for the pin. Punk kicks out in the nick of time. High octane offenses. Punk on the shoulders of Styles. I thought maybe GTS was coming from the Phenomenal One. Instead, Ooshkaroosh, or whatever you call it. I love that move. Regardless of that fact, Styles trying to set Punk up, runs the ropes, drops the forearm in the face, and now calls for the straight edge superstar back to his feet. The pop-up Styles Clash. Inbound. Planted. Middle of the ring. Punk is out of it. And done. The Phenomenal One victorious here tonight as he takes down CM Punk. And this was high octane offense from these two. Styles, he was rolling throughout the early goings, and then there was that glimmer of hope. Punk took control on the outside. He maintained the pressure until he got caught with the first Styles Clash. But after that moment, it was really Punk trying to get back into this. He fired back, but even after Styles tried to steal victory, these kicks, the flurry of offense he went for, set up for the GTS. And Styles hung in, survived that shot, and then came back firing even harder to take down CM Punk here tonight. A great performance from both men. This match I'd love to see yet again. But with it now in the books, only one man's victorious, and that is Styles, as we move swiftly to our third bout of the evening.
Here is your winner, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Hopefully the tempo keeps ramping up here as the generation of Jade is upon us. Cora Jade makes her way to the ring for this bout. Looks ready.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, Cora Jade.
She does look like she gives zero fucks as to how or who will be against her here tonight. Cora is and always has possessed phenomenal skills in the ring to take it to whoever her opponent is. Tonight she's going head to head in a bout that's a battle of NXT. Jade looking to do better than her hero, CM Punk, here tonight, as she goes up against Thea Hale.
Representing Chase University from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Thea Hale.
And while the university is no longer in existence, Hale still channeling that spirit and that fire to compete. We've seen what she can do in singles action before, and it's surprising sometimes that she is as good as she is. Tonight, I'd say a very even playing field for both women, and a chance to show off their skills, to move up in one of the divisions, whichever it's the women's title or the television championship division that they're competing in. This is a good opportunity regardless for both of them to show off their skill. As we ready ourselves, our third bout of the evening is upon us. Cora Jade versus Thea Hale. And we get underway, a punch ducked Both women missing their first shots. Hale comes through first with the offense. Springboard senton out from Hale. That cannonball S senton. Landing pretty flush on the chest of Jade. And Jade obviously coming off of surgery to the legs. The torn ACLs that she has suffered took her out of action for a long period of time. Now finally back in the ring competing. She's had, I'd say, struggles in real life to find form. Especially now considering everything that went on. But this match she's looking to show why she is a prospect, a future generational star. She's already got a generation named after her. You certainly feel that she has that power, the prowess to continue that sort of streak as Hale heads up top, hooks up Jade for the suplex. A really unique looking suplex at that. Booty popping moonsault to follow it up. Into the pin goes Hale. Thea gets the 1 count. RF Gregathy counting that. Hale beckoning Jade to her feet. Setting her up potentially for something. It's a big punch. It's a couple of big punches. And then some boots as well. Nice gut wrench suplex there. To send Jade flying. Jade manages to catch a boot finally. And get back into this. Up and over. Sliced bread number 2. Into the pin goes Cora. Trying to secure victory here. Hale kicking out in the nick of time. 2 count. And that was certainly the biggest move of this match. Jade, future shock DDT, planting Hale near the ropes. Could Hale kick out? Indeed she does. It's just like a flip of a switch and Jade is now in control. And has hit some big time maneuvers. Hale's, I felt, was in control. She should have her big time offense, but Jade, oh my word, nice cartwheel into dropkick. Landing flush on the jaw of Thea. Jade is surprising me here. Nice step up in Zaguri. She heads to the second rope. Calling, taunting, beckoning. You name it, Hale's getting hit with it. Jade finally could be slowed down. Thea grabs a hold of the legs. Jade, though, comes back swinging with her boots. Nice clothesline to put down Thea. Into the pin goes Jade, trying to secure victory here. Gets a 2 count for the effort. Thea slowly making her way back to her feet. Jade has been very dominant. A nice scoop slam there. Since, I'd say, the middle stages of the match, tries to go roll for a senton. Thea rolls out the way. Now, what is Hale looking for here? I think it's a big maneuver. She's calling Jade to her feet. Hooks her up. It's the Kimura locked in. The arm being pulled. Jade, though, rolls through, gets out the hold. Her arm's surviving. It's not snapping just yet. But Thea retaining the effort, applying that pressure. Gets a 2 count for the effort. Jade feeling the effects of that submission hold. Thea now. She needs to go for a knockout blow here. Jade potentially could survive any move and come back with that future shock DDT, but this is what Hale needed to do. Hook Jade up, this time for a second Fujiwara. Kimura, I should say. Jade in trouble. The legs are locked, and she's forced to tap out. And Hale takes the arm and snaps it in victory. This was surprising because at a flip of a switch, Jade took over, hit the Generation of Jade, that Future Shock, and just that moment I thought, Jade's got this in the bag. She's done enough work here to just coast through to the finish. But Hale lied in wait. She bought time by just surviving that offense. And when it was time to strike, she struck thick and fast. A double dosage, I should say, of Kimuras. And that nice maneuver to get into that second one set up for a very good, impressive victory from Hale. Smart offense, some may say, as she taps out Cora Jade to get the victory here tonight. It was that neck breaker there that set up for that Kimura and the tap out victory here for Hale.
Here is your winner,
The tempo was still rolling after this second match in a row. Let's move into the next one to hope the tempo heats up even more. I bet the IPW management didn't expect this card to pop as much as it has so far, as we increase the heat.
It is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 251 pounds, Booker T.
As the Harlem Star, Booker T, the 6th time, I can finally remember it's 6 times, not 5 times, world champion, is ready and is coming for you here tonight. And it's nice to see him back on Breakdown, as it's been a long time since he's been in action here in IPW. But tonight, as the begins, he's in a bit of a sticky situation. One where the heart beats stronger and stronger. The tempo, while I felt was always going to get faster, it's going to get more brutal. As we are about to bring the boom.
And his opponents, first from Preston, England, weighing in at 246 pounds, Wade Barrett.
Barrett here in a similar sort of fashion to Booker T. Boom. Not really seen too much action in the recent weeks of IPW. But tonight, he gets a shot against Booker T in this matchup. This is going to be set to be one heck of a match so far. But I have a feeling it's going to get even more explosive, combustible, as the badass dog
From Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Braun Breaker.
is let loose. The hounds are in the house. And Breaker is here to break bones. He's a solid star. And who wins? The spear or the bullhammer? That's the name of the game here tonight. And I guess you could say the bookend is in that, or the axe kick is in that same flavor of text. Because these 3 stars are going to war. I'm intrigued. Is it the legends that can stand over the future? We shall see. It's time to crush. Now I would be doing a Pat McAfee and going hoo, 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 as we get into this one. But I don't need to, because I've got a feeling there's going to be a British winner at the end of this one. And I'm calling it before the bell even rings. Let's go. A lariat attempt from Barrett as Breaker ducks the shot. Can't duck this though. And gets a backbreaker on Born Breaker. Oh god, that's such an interesting maneuver. Now Booker T going to work on Breaker. Hits him with an atomic drop. Breaker firing back with some speed. Taking down Barrett, who comes back firing on Booker. Breaker yet again takes down Barrett and now keeps his pressure on Booker T, goes for the pin. And yeah, we've not really, as I said, seen all three of these stars in a while. Breaker, we saw, I think, in a six-pack challenge. The first one as well in the men's division. Unsuccessful in that one. Booker and Barrett haven't really competed since, I'd say, the Dual Dream tournament, or maybe in the Turmoil match. But as a whole, they're solid stars that can just realistically dominate when they get going. Breaker loves to elevate the speed of the match. Nice world's strongest slam there. I thought the candlestick would have broken up that pin, but no, instead Barrett forced to hit it himself. Nice gut wrench bomb there, putting Breaker down, but Breaker's back to his feet and ready. The kendo stick not a factor, and that's a nice backdrop suplex to Booker. It's just the speed, the explosivity that Breaker can deliver them maneuvers that catches people off guard. We saw it there with that maneuver, as no one really expected how quickly Booker T dropped to the mat. Breaker rolls out. Looks for another weapon. It's a sledgehammer this time. It's a flavor of choice this week. This triple threat match, remember, no DQ, no count out. Just pure aggression and pinfall and submissions. We've already seen one submission victory here tonight. I have a feeling we won't in this one, as Barrett opting for a pin here, trying to secure the victory over Breaker. A quick kick out. Breaker seems to do everything quick. Is a nice spine buster. Plants Wade there. But Booker T catches Breaker on the end of that maneuver with the sledgehammer. These three stars just battling to move up the power rankings. The divisions are so wide, as we've said, through several weeks of action. The tops of the divisions are so askewed, they're not proportionate. There's no one clearly a favorite. It's all just chop and chase trading of the belt in both divisions right now, as well. Barrett's busted open. I wanted to keep the alliteration going there. I would have said Barrett busted open by Breaker, or Bron Breaker, to make it even more alliteration-y. But we don't really care about that, as Booker gets dropped, sent to the outside. Breaker controlling the ring, gonna chase down Booker T with a kendo stick, and he just secures that home run with it. Just smacking, sending whiplash down the back of Booker T. The badass dog caught this time, And the two legends get to battle, but I think Booker, he's just going to keep both of them down. Catches the boot of Barrett, who gets back to his feet, but he's caught immediately by Booker T. Up he goes, out the back door, and dropping Booker with the chop block. Trying to take away the leg stumps. But that's a LED steel post in the face of Wade Barrett as Booker catches him with it. Braun looking for a weapon, but caught this time by Booker T, who's locking in. No, I thought maybe Steiner Recliner mocking Braun Breaker, but not going to be able to do so as Barrett and Booker begin to battle. I can do so much alliteration in this match, it's unreal. Anyway, Barrett corking up a boom as he can sense victory. As Breaker's head also went into the same spot Barrett's did on the LED ring post. That's a nice kick from Booker T as he's calling for the end, but Breaker quickly catching and quickly sizing up the target, dropping Barrett. He now turns his attention to Booker T, who's quickly on the retreat. Knows he's in trouble if he stays out there. So he's gonna go get back up. Tries to launch the sledgehammer into Breaker, but it's to no avail, and the sledgehammer's now in the arms of Breaker, who drives it into the belly of Barrett. I'm unintentionally doing this, by the way. The alliteration. The exhilaration. The exultation. The just badassness of this match just being felt. I expected the tempo to maintain through this one. It's palpable. It's certainly keeping up with Styles and Punk. Jade and Hale. As Breaker chops the base of Barrett from underneath him and corking a combination and pumps him up and down. That's like an inverted World's Strongest Slam as Breaker taunting. We're yet to see them go back in the ring, and I don't think we will for any time soon, as the steel steps almost crushed the skull of Breaker. Instead, he's met with a baseball bat by Booker. Booker caught, planted. Around the world he goes with that spinning slam from Barrett. Barrett making his way back into the ring and taunting as Breaker goes back to work on Booker. I have a feeling we might see Breaker rejoin Barrett in the ring, but he's going to bring some more plunder maybe with the steel stairs as that's sent flying into Booker T. Barrett tries to come down with the double axe but cannot do so as he now turns his attention to Booker. Nice forearm there, almost bullhammer-esque from Barrett as he's gonna send Braun back into the ring. Dropkick from Barrett puts down Booker. Are we gonna get both or any of these stars back in the ring? Barrett's gonna bring two of them in, and Booker's gonna be the subject of some Braun Breaker offense, sent running and speared through the center of the ring. Barrett watching on as he breaks up the pin. And a bull hammer connects. Down goes Breaker. A nothing factor as Booker setting up Braun for something, but Wade gonna get involved, gonna break that up. Instead drops a double axe into Booker. Up on the shoulders goes Booker, who's hooked for the bookend. He potentially could have felt the wasteland from Barrett, but gets out the back and then hits the bookend. Barrett is down and out. And Breaker goes for the pin. Could this be it? So nearly over. Booker back it. Turns his attention to Breaker. Breaker gets back to his feet. Sends Booker running. Frankensteiner from Breaker. Put Booker down. Barrett stomping his way through Breaker. And why not toss him for good measure? Barrett has Booker on his shoulders. Not going to opt for the wasteland just yet. Instead, just slingshots him across the top rope. And now backdropping Braun on the apron. Ooh, that's a nice kendo shot. But Booker's hooked up. The arm's caught. Wasteland comes through. And the kendo stick comes crashing into the face as a follow-up. Braun has 2 stars planted here on the outside. He just needs to roll one of them back into the ring. But he's not going to do so. Barrett makes his own way in. Picks up the kendo stick and cracks it across the skull of Breaker, who hits the spear from out of nowhere. Into the pin he goes. Booker's, though, quickly in. Breaks the pinfall attempt up and turns his attention to Breaker yet again. Up and down, backbreaker on Braun Breaker. As Booker taking over. Caught. Could have been thinking scissor kick. As Breaker takes him down with confidence and ease. The 6-time world champ in trouble. As he's got a Brit watching over the top of him, cracking him with a kendo stick. Breaker through. Back to his feet. Now turns his attention to the Hall of Famer. You have to feel maybe... I think Wade Barrett will go into the Hall of Fame sooner rather than later. But, Braun. Caught. Could be cooked here. What is Barrett looking for? The Barras Nooks from out of nowhere. Concussive shot to the head of Braun Breaker. Booker T breaks up the pin. And now has Wade Barrett hooked up. All 3 men back to a vertical base, but Barrett, I think, is going down. Hooked on the shoulder of Braun. And a long blower to the legs. Or the chest hits. Pinfall attempt. Only gets a 2 as Barrett kicks out. Booker T now turns his attention to Breaker, hooks him up and drops him down. Nice maneuver there from the Hall of Famer, who's now looking, scissor kicking Barrett in the middle of the ring. Into the pin he goes. 1. Only the 1 as Breaker in, but he's hit with a Harlem sidekick. And now in trouble. Kick to the gut. He's getting a dosage of scissor in his life. And who doesn't enjoy scissoring? Dragon Screw leg whip comes through from Breaker as he reverses what Booker's looking for, and the straps come down to follow it up. It's never a good sign when Breaker is about to unleash the hound. But keep your eyes on Wade. He's got the steps. Dragged into the ring. Breaker sent running. Hit with the punch from Booker, who kicks the gut of Barrett. Oh my word, the steps. Crashing into the face of Barrett, who's chopped, hit, but not blooded as he connects with a bull hammer. Down goes Booker for the pin. A big kick out from Booker. He's taken a lot of big moves so far. I had a feeling that was it then. As Barrett once again grabs the steel steps, drags them into the ring. Breaker powering up and dropping Booker. Nice neck breaker from Barrett. Keeping Braun down. I thought that was a bullhammer. But it's a big time right from Barrett. That does the same job. Who's got Breaker up on his shoulders. Wasteland comes through. And a pinfall attempt down goes Braun. But it's not enough. So much has come through, and I think Barrett senses the victory. He's corked up the bullhammer, but Booker comes in to break that one up. And instead, Booker's in a sandwich of punches, and the bullhammer from out of nowhere, connecting Barrett on the pin on Booker, and gets the win. He didn't hit him with the bullhammer, but the damage sustained throughout the match was enough to keep the Hall of Famer down. And what did I say before the bell even rang? We're getting a British victor. And Barrett drops the boom. A quick finish, I would say, in terms of the closing sentiment. The statement made by Barrett in this match. He can hang with the big dogs. Or one of the big dogs. Can he hang with the big dog? That's a good question. We'll see maybe sooner rather than later, that fact. But yeah, this match. The big explosive maneuvers came through towards the end. A couple of scissors. A couple of scissorings, I should say. A bookend. A few spears as well. The straps came down, but that wasn't enough. Barrett with a bullhammer took out Breaker as this pin secured the victory on Booker.
Here is your winner, Wade Barrett.
Alliteration galore. Barrett brings the boom to pick up victory and take us into our next bout of the evening. Here in IPW, we like a couple of things. Fallon Henley and big goth girlfriend mummies like Rhea Ripley. To be honest, I did not think about how I was going to intro this match, but well, the Eradicator is here to bring some brutality here tonight. As well as the Pyro.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Adelaide, Australia, Rhea Ripley.
Ripley. Dominant, powerful, and a mummy. Let's be honest, that's all we know her for. Tonight, she's going to war against, well, someone looking to prove themselves. I'd say this matchup favors Rhea from bell to bell, regardless of the result. No one would expect her to lose this. But we could say the same in terms of Rhea versus Henley. No one expected Fallon to secure the victory that night. And there's a reason we're bringing up Henley here. Ahead of Locked In. As, well, her fatal influence compatriot goes up against the Eradicator. Jane, here to make a statement in this one.
And her opponent, representing Fatal Influence from Tampa, Florida, JC Jane.
Jane. She looks ready. Skipping, sidestepping her way to the ring. Whatever you call that maneuver she does. She is a surprise factor, let's be honest. Outgunned, most people would say, in comparison to Rhea, who just brings that big-time powerful offense in the women's division. Jane needs to step up and bring her own surprise, that speed, that big one-shot knockout power to deal with Mommy, but Mommy's not going to give her that shot, I feel. And we've had the tempo flying throughout the majority of this show. I think Mommy's going to put a quick end to this one. As obviously, this is a good opportunity to talk about the women's division. Coming into this, well, locked in, with the division, again, it's the same thing as the men's division. Everyone's game and can beat anyone. And this match kind of could showcase that. The top of the division's not set in stone. We've got the champ Henley sitting atop of it, victorious in God knows how many matches we've seen her defend that belt in. Undefeated in title matches. Her title defenses, I should say. And she's kept the division competitive. No one can sit next to her top of the division. However, when you have someone holding that resolution, the division itself is always on notice. Because you don't want to be the one to lose the belt to the person who's got the guaranteed win, let's be honest. Rose will hold on to the case until she finds an opportune moment to strike. There's no ifs, no buts about it. And IPW management realized they don't need to pull the trigger in the women's division because, well, that guaranteed title shot can come at any stage. Henley just needs to keep on, or whomever needs to keep on winning, holding on to the belt to the moment where they're the weakest and Rose can strike for victory. So right now, this matchup features someone who took on Henley for the belt. And that matchup was a regular show. I believe it was on a breakdown as well. It's one of my favorite matches because of how it ended. The Riptide by Henley, of all people, ended the match. And it shocked me because I did not expect Henley to utilize Rhea's own finisher to put her away, as just the overall brashness of the champ at that stage to do so. Now Ripley's having to deal with someone very close to Henley, who's for the past couple of seconds just been stomping a mud hole into her. And this is a completely different style of wrestling that we see from Jane in comparison to Henley. And Rhea's having to adapt to take over this match as she's powering up Jane into the electric chair, facebuster. Plants out Jane for a 2 count, but it's a different style. Henley brings explosive offenses. The prism trap locked in. Jane could tap, but as I was saying, Henley is known for springboard offense, the quick finish of the famouser, and then that no one ever kicks out of hoedown. Oh my word. Good night, Jane. Woo! Alabama slam. But yeah, she is known for that offense. Jane, in this case, is known for them discus quick kicks to knock out an opponent. Mommy's having to learn, adapt on the fly, and, well, it's not looking pretty. Because what is Rhea looking for here? A sexy maneuver, let's be honest. Just crawling over her opponent into the headbutts. I think that's why she does it, because she's a dummy mommy. I thought for a I don't know why I thought that, but I thought Rhea was pulling the straps down, but she clearly can't. Anyway, as my brain has disintegrated to just talking about Fallon Henley, this matchup so far, it has been predominantly Rhea destroying Jane, as expected. As the battle on the outside is just Mommy tossing Jane around and then sending her back into the ring as you do. Rhea on the ropes. I thought maybe thinking springboard maneuver, instead walks back in the ring. Heading now actually up to the top rope. Froggy with it. Boom for the... No, not for the dub just yet. Roll-up attempt from Jane, trying to sneak victory right now. Not even a 1 count. That tells you how well this match has gone for her. She's now trying to find the avenue back in, though. The kick caught, though, and sent flying with a knee. Crumpling Jane, who catches the boot of Ripley, sends her flying and crumples her with a knee. Turn about, a taste of your own medicine. Jane now getting going. Waiting. Potentially looking to strike. The spinning discus forearm drops Rhea. Close to the rope. She could grab a hold of him to break the count. Instead, opts to power out of it. Mommy, too strong to stay down. Crowd getting behind this one. As Jane watches on. Rhea caught, sent into the turnbuckle. And for a second time, a punch follows it up. And Jane just maintaining pressure now. This is what you need to do to beat Rhea. Apply constant pressure. Keep her down. Keep her out. And Jane could potentially think lights out, just tossing Rhea across the ring. Drops the senton as well. Rhea fights her way back to her feet. Tries to connect with a lariat, but cannot do so. Discus pump kick from Jane. Drops Rhea for a 2. And I'm surprised at how this match is turning out. Jane, discus forearm, drops Rhea for the pin. 1, 2, still, Mommy fights out of it. The senton misses, and Mommy's firing back. Angrier, stronger, and potentially more domier. Firing up in the corner. Dropping Jane, but Jane fights out. The bite back and the Hurricane Rana. Jane might have made a mistake as Mommy uncorks a combo, dropping her to the mat. Pulls her out. Mommy. Prism trap applied once again. Jane in trouble. Will she tap out? Indeed she does. The Eradicator victorious. And moments of this match, there was glimpses of Jane being victorious. That discus forearm twice over, and then the spinning pump kick. Usually be enough to beat a normal superstar. But this is Rhea fucking Ripley. And she too strong for Jane. What a great precursor to our 6-pack challenge. Our final qualifier for the television championship chamber. Who will be joining an already stacked field of stars and making their mark known at Locked In? It's time to find out as we close out this stack breakdown. Too sweet! Who's ready for a 6-pack challenge? Hopefully the monster among men is, as he's first out in this match. Braun Strowman.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Sherrills Ford, North Carolina, weighing in at 385 pounds, Braun Strowman.
Looks ready. Seems ready. And will potentially be knocking out someone in this match. A one-man wrecking crew. Here to destroy the rest of the field. We've seen these 6-pack challenges feature the big names, the big dogs of the division. Will that same sentiment be felt in this match? I think so when you hear this music. As we've got a Samoan bulldozer in the house.
From the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 350 pounds, the Samoan bulldozer, Umaga.
Umaga and Strowman so far in this one. And let's be honest, that's a lot of meat there. As I ready myself for this one, I finally sat down for this cast. Umaga. Vicious in nature and solid in wrestling. The scariness as a child you would feel watching him come out to the ring, as he then dismantled whomever was put against him. But a man who's probably been destroyed by him before, not through his own, well, probably through his own drunkenness, just decided to say effort and get in a fight with him.
From Philadelphia, weighing in at 240 pounds, the Sandman.
A Philly legend. A very big ECW hardcore legend. at that. The Sandman. Honestly, what a roller coaster of a run he's had here in IPW. I would feel the shots that he has deserved have never come until now. Conquest. He was so close to getting into the match, but fell short to Bronson Reed. Tonight, he's got to go the distance against another 6 people. It's so similar to a Conquest match without the obvious Conquest rules. But let's be honest, you wouldn't want a Conquest match in this situation. It's too intense of a match to have, with less stakes in terms of, well, the strategy needed is completely different. First to a fall in this one, and you're through to the pay-per-view to join a stacked men's chamber. I'm really hoping, praying that whoever qualifies can deliver. As the champion, we'll be watching on, as it will be the 4 other qualified stars for this one. 3 out of the 6 stars known. Who will join them? The chorus of boos echoing throughout the breakdown arena as the dirty man himself, Dominic Mysterio, enters the 6-pack challenge.
And representing the Judgment Day, from San Diego, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
No Liv Morgan by his side. But again, you could say the same for Umaga. No Armada Estrada by his side. Everyone has to do it alone. No one has help. It's a lonely world, a lonely place to be on top. And you have to get there. First, obviously, I'm gonna say it. Why does the thing on the back of Dom's jacket look like a penis? Yeah. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. He pulls the rope open for no one. Mysterio makes his way in the ring. Question is, well, his song said it. It's his time. Can he deliver on that promise? We shall see. Oh, that's not a good sound for him. As one of his mortal enemies is in the same match as him.
From New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, Damian Priest.
His name card said, all right, I've done the opposite for this bout. I've sat down, but he brings us to a new level. This match is getting terrifying. Umaga Priest already in this one match will be a brutal brawl. between two sick SOBs. And then you've got that one big SOB in the match as well. Dom's here to be the Weasel. We need to know who will round out the field, because there's also an extreme guy in here as well. One tough SOB. Let's find out who joins this field. Need I say any more than the greatest of all time?
Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena!
Frankly, are you surprised? The greatest of all time, championshipless in IPW. He wants gold. He's here to take down anyone who stands in his way. He's not got to deal with the Moxley threat, nor the Rollins rebellion. Took him down last week in the best 2 out of 3 falls. Tonight, his focus is primarily on qualification. He's pointing immediately at Priest. He knows who he wants. Will he get him? I say no as he turns his attention to Mysterio, who takes him down immediately. They've got bodies already scattered down, and Umaga and Braun Strowman immediately targeting each other. The first pinfall attempt comes through from Mysterio as expected as he's trying to weasel the win. The referee got taken out in that kind of flurry at the start as well. As we watch on, every man for himself, as we said during the entrances. Priest and Umaga get back to their feet and start to brawl. Cena fighting someone as we focus in on the Sandman, who comes flying through to take down Mysterio, who's quickly back to his feet, but that was a mistake because he's straight back to being destroyed by the Sandman. It goes after Braun Strowman. Cena and Braun teaming up. Side Russian leg sweep combination. Cena ducks the line. Mysterio into the cradle. Trying to secure the victory yet again. This is going to be Dom's strat throughout the entire match. It's just cheap roll-ups, and the Sandman's gigged himself as expected as well. He already was bleeding in his entrance. Why not make it a little bit more bloody for him as the first weapons introduced into the match by Umaga. A steel chair that's laying in that top corner. Cena and the Sandman starting to battle. They certainly would have met at ECW One Night Stand so many years ago. Cena losing the belt to RVD that day. You gotta feel that he never let that moment down, walking into the Hammerstein Ballroom to just a chorus of angry ECW fans. And that pent-up frustration potentially for Cena towards ECW legends may be felt in this match, as finally we're seeing Priest and Mysterio fighting for the first time in a long time. Cena could have been thinking attitude adjustment, gets caught with a big kick. There's a follow-up. Umaga just powering down Braun Strowman. Priest hooks up Mysterio, drops him down. Umaga spinning Uranagi, planting Strowman. Them two have been going to war here. Cena with a kendo stick, cracking it across Mysterio. We've got legends galore in this match, and Dominic Mysterio. And I guess you could say Braun and Priest as the south side of heaven comes through. Pinfall attempt though from Cena on the Sandman. Gets broken up. The referee jiving all over the place as well. He's been taken out. As has the neck of Cena, getting pulverized there by the Sandman, who's just starting to get going in this match. He's kind of felt the brunt force of most of the early offense. Finally getting to do stuff, but Mysterio catches him, and he's setting him up for a trio. Three amigos. Cena trying to sneak victory, this time on Dom. How ironic. Dom reverses it, rolls through. Cena does the same. Umaga watches as he breaks it up and hooks Cena up. Samoan spike dropping Cena into the pin. Goes the Samoan bulldozer. What a surprise upset that would be if Umaga pinned Cena. I mean, to be fair, it's not that big of an upset because we've seen Cena lose so many times here in IPW. That sledgehammer almost got stuck on the top rope there. That would have been funny, but it does damage. Braun laying a path of damage in his wake as Cena, nice Emerald Flosion there to drop Strowman, but Cena's busted open by Mysterio, who's brought the Great Equalizer, a chair, into the match. You already know the Sandman's busted open, so them shots really are only to break or make that wound worse. Damian Priest spinning the lucky dice, planting Mysterio, the chair in the way, the ref counting on top of it for a 2. Umaga didn't break it up, but is going to capitalize on Priest's slow rise to his feet and just deliver a spike to the Sandman. Pinfall attempt, it's going to be broken up. As Mysterio trying to sneak victory, he got a flurry of boots from Umaga and Cena to break it up, and Mysterio goes flying, dropping the Sandman down. Cena, fireman's carry position, not going to go for the FU. Instead, caught by Priest, who hooks him up into the side slam, the world's strongest slam position. I don't know what's going to happen there as a pinfall gets broken up, and I'm running out of breath trying to say everything that's happening. Nice sit-out spine buster from Mysterio, but the Sandman on top of him. Nip up from Priest. Turns his attention to Strowman as Umaga slamming down the Sandman. Strowman the same sidewalk slam to Cena. Cradle from Mysterio trying to sneak victory. The Sandman there to break it up though. And this match, everyone is still wearing each other down. We've seen the big maneuvers though. Mysterio hasn't really been able to get going. Priest has though. South side of heaven yet again planting. But it's in front of Braun Strowman, who breaks it up. Strowman, Coloss, maybe. No, it's a submission hold. A bear hug type maneuver on Priest. Gets broken up, I believe, by Cena, who's setting Umaga up for a ball game and a half. The FU comes through, but is broken up by Mysterio. And Dom's going to be planted again as Priest into the pin on Sandman. Where's the referee? He's counting it finally. Braun's on the top rope and comes crashing down, taking down 2 men. Cena, he's going out to the outside, sizing up Priest. Hooks him up for the Hurricane Rana. Cena's elevated offense, them unique moves he's developed in the latter stages of his career, as that was a 5-knuckle shuffle on the outside. Dropping the dime, rolling senton, and then frog splash from Mysterio and the Sandman. Pinfall attempt, Mysterio. His pin's broken up finally by the Sandman, who watched on. That was such a unique combo. As Umaga, gonna be hooked, sent flying into the ropes. Mysterio tries to dial up the area code, but cannot deliver. Priest, Falcon Arrow, sends Mysterio down as Cena has Umaga on his shoulders. Umaga fighting, breaking the hold. Hooking up Cena, I think, for the spike, but can't deliver it as the pin's broken up as well. Umaga in the wrong area as Priest breaks up Dom's maneuver. I think that's going to be a last ride, as I believe there's a Rikishi driver as well. Everything's happening. Umaga pinning for the victory, maybe. No. Sandman spike pile drivers Priest. Pinfall attempt, Samoan spike inbound, boom. 2. The finishers are in a flurry of offense. Everyone is trying to win at this stage. Cena caught over the shoulders. That's a spike pile driver from the Sandman as Dom's dialing it up. 619 inbound on that side as the Sandman area code not going to be enough for him to secure the victory. What is Philly's area code? Who cares? Samoan spike. Boom. Bong. Bip. Umaga almost victorious over Cena. Dom now. Fighting with the Sandman. As Strowman destroying Priest. Dom now turns his attention to Strowman, who sends Dom flying into the corner. Sandman's stunned on the outside as Cena's back to his feet, as is Umaga and Priest. Shot after shot. Nice DDT from Priest. Puts Umaga down and out for the count. Falcon Arrow from Priest. Plants the Sandman. Spinning heel kick from Umaga. Nice maneuver there. Dodges Dominic's shot as well. Lands a bulldog. Body scattered all over the place. Hanging across every orifice of the ring. Everyone's giving it all. Priest taunting. Trying to call for the last shot against Dominic here, maybe. Into the fireman's carry and drops him down with a Samoan drop. Strowman and Sandman fighting. As Priest hooking up Cena and plants him with a flapjack. Now turns his attention to the Sandman for a last ride, maybe. Bondage Undertaker. Gonna plant the Sandman down. Cena stun center of the ring. The pin coming through, and almost certainly this match would have been over if it weren't for Dirty Dom. We had that flurry of finishers. Where are they now? Who is nearing victory? Is everyone still standing, fighting one another? The Sandman, surprise, he still stood up there. I couldn't really tell. Blocked by the action from Cena. And Umaga. Shoulder breaker to Priest by Strowman, who them two have been fighting quite a lot in this match. Cena potentially looking for the attitude adjustment, cannot connect. Slips out the back of Strowman's maneuver. Catching Umaga, could have been looking for it there. There's a pinfall attempt from the Sandman. It's broken up by Priest. That was such a surprise. Cena has Umaga on his shoulders. Attitude adjustment from out of nowhere. Finally called it by that maneuver instead of EF. Knew Strowman's going to break this pin up. He does so. with ease. Poison Rana from Mysterio. Half and half suplex also being channeled as a pinfall attempt here from Dom on Strowman, gets broken up by Cena. Leader of the C Nation. Backdrop suplexes. Dom turns his attention back to Umaga. Scoops him up. Umaga fighting out of it. Delivers the punch to drop Cena. And turns his attention to Dom in the corner. Up he goes, down he goes. As quick as that. Dom is down. Could be out of it as Strowman hooked by Umaga for Rikishi driver. Dom connecting with the neckbreaker. Looking to steal one here. Eddie Guerrero in his heart. His dad hitting the frog splash. Planted center of the ring for a Mysterio win. It was so nearly that, but the Sandman out of nowhere hits him. Breaks the pin up, and Dom, I'm afraid, Tomb Spike, you call it what you want. Planted with a power driver. Pinfall attempt, and not the win. Everyone's kicking out of everything. It's pandemonium. And the stairs are getting introduced yet again. Dom's caught. Bulldogged. Planted. Umaga trying to sneak it on the Sandman. 1, 2, 4. Pinfall reverse. The Sandman trying to steal it. Are not able to do so. I believe Mysterio broke it up as he's locked up in the sleeper. It's broken up by the Sandman. And now Strowman has him up. Running power slam. Planting him. And the pinfall attempt is enough. Strowman advances. And that was a stacked match. Finishers galore. Finish City. I guess you could say we're in Helsinki. But this was an interesting bout, to say the least. I did not expect it to be Strowman walking out victorious, though. Thought maybe Dom sneaking it towards the end, as it was really down to 3 people who stayed in the ring. Cena, Damien really didn't stay in that ring for long. They started brawling on the outside. And then the rest were just kind of strewn bodies all over the place. The Sandman breaking that up to keep this match going. I thought the Spike pile driver could have done it if Braun stayed on top of Umaga, but no. Braun turns his attention to the Sandman to secure victory. A great showing from Strowman to get himself on the pay-per-view card. Let's run down said card right now. Yes, thank you, me from the past. Welcome to your locked in card rundown. We're finally complete with all the matches that can happen, as the Women's Television Championship will be defended in the Chamber. Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, Julia, Liv Morgan, all will be challenging Chelsea Green for that belt on Sunday. It's then followed up with a Hell in a Cell match, the final battle in the best of 5 series between the Authors of Pain and Trick Williams and Javon Evans. Winner takes all in that one. From there, we move over to the tag team division. It's a rematch for the belts inside a steel cage, as Gallus will be taking on the Usos. Can the champions win the rubber match, or will the Usos reclaim glory? We shall have to see. Moving on from there, Our co-main event for the evening. It's a Hell in a Cell battle. The champion, Shawn Michaels, defends the belt against two other stars, Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay. Can he keep the gold he's only just won against Joe, or can Will, in his rematch for the glory, get his belt back? We shall have to see on Sunday, as our final bout for the evening is official. It is the men's elimination chamber. The field's now finally rounded out with the inclusion of Braun Strowman, as The Miz, Randy Orton, Big E and Rey Mysterio join him to take on the champion, the Demon, Finn Balor. Stay tuned for Sunday's action. The card looks exquisite as we get ready for it. And thanks for joining me tonight on Breakdown. I'll see you this Sunday for that live event, and I will be there. But before that, obviously, we have IPW Underground this Saturday. Don't want to miss that either. So I'll see you for both of them this weekend. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's